My name's Duddy, set up builds and stuff. Today's video we're going to be taking a look at the DSC armor set, and this actually works with Hazardous Propulsion. You're going to be able to get the enhanced rockets. The 2-piece and the 4-piece are pretty decent. I'm not going to say they're overpowered. You get disorient melees and heat-seeking missiles from when you get critically wounded or use your super. This actually pairs really nicely with the Hazardous Propulsion. It actually procs it. So in short, basically you're going to be able to keep your rocket launchers or rocket propulsion weapons but with a bonus damage for longer, and for using things like your super or critically wounded, you're going to be able to activate them enhanced rockets without having to use your class ability. So the video is going to be about this little cheeky secret interaction and also about some ways we can use it. Little disclaimer as well, it can still be a little bit buggy, but I'm pretty sure that's the chest piece still a little bit buggy, the Hazardous Propulsion. I'm hoping this gets fixed because they are doing one more patched. It's okay, it works, but it can be a little bit buggy, so stay with me, I'll break the video down. So the 2-piece, what the 2-piece says, powered melees release an additional disorientating pulse when used to defeat a target. So powered melees, I'm going to leave the exact stats up there, what it does. It every 0.67 seconds after a combatant death, a 10-meter radius that applies disorient for 2.5 seconds. And then the 4-piece, when your shields are broken by a combatant or upon casting your super, it releases a swarm of heat-seeking micro-missiles. Critical health releases 2, and casting your super releases 4. 680 damage missile, so you get more damage from when you use your super. So I'll just get the melee out the way first, we'll show you that. Little disorienting effect, not too bad for melee builds. Pretty decent in my opinion if you want to keep things sort of like immobilized. Just quickly off my head, you could use point cannon braces with that, or insurmountable skull fort if you're on the Titan, or necrotics or synthocept, something like that if you're on other characters. So insurmountable skull fort, where you can just run around and get melees. You're also going to disorientate things. This was just a little quick idea. I'm sure there's some other things that work, but again, 2-piece bonus, you'll decide. Not bad. I don't think it's overpowered or anything. Pretty decent. And the 4-piece bonus, it will state when you are low health, it fires 2 680 missiles. So when you get critically wounded, it fires 2 off like so. You can just see them shoot out your back from somewhere. They just sort of like pop off. Again, not absolutely insane or anything like that. In fact, it's pretty poor, if you ask me. But when you use your super, it fires 4 of them, which is obviously more damage. It works with any super. Hammers on Titan, Thunder Crash, Twilight on your Void, things like that. But what it actually does, it actually works pretty nicely with the Hazardous Propulsion chest piece. I'm pretty sure it's intended. So what the Hazardous Propulsion does, weapon, precision hits, or final blows have a chance to load a kinetic Exodus micro-missile. You'll notice that's blue like it is on the Legacy armor. Activated your class ability, fires loaded Exodus micro-missiles, damaging targets with Exodus micro-missiles, temporarily increases the damage you deal with other micro-missiles and rocket launchers. So when you use your class ability normally, so firstly, obviously you build it up by getting precision hits and kills. You'll see that Exodus rockets build it up. And then when you use your class ability, that will activate it. However, if you use your super, that will also activate it. But here's the thing, you see that enhanced rockets there on that left-hand side. So that was a ×4 because it fires 4 rockets. So because it's firing 4 rockets, it's not giving you the full damage of the chest piece. However, there is a way where you can consistently get 6 rockets, which I found, which I'll show you in a minute. It's on the Void Super. But this is important information, so pay attention to what I'm saying. When you get the ×4 from casting your super, you are not getting the full benefits from Hazardous Propulsion, because Hazardous Propulsion requires you to get ×6 for the 35% damage increase. So you do get the ×4. It's a longer way to keep your super going. The damage on the rocket launchers, so you can see there 985, pop my super, and now I've got my 6 times rockets, which will give me the full benefit. So there is a way where we can actually get the ×6 pretty consistently, and I found using Thunder Crash and also a Void Super, which we'll go into in a moment. So if you are using the Hazardous Propulsion, you can extend the timer of your damage for your rocket launchers and other rocket missile weapons or rocket weapons like sidearms. So you can use your super and then use your class ability if you wanted to. And to get the ×6, I found using it on a Void Titan, as long as you look at the target, you will get the ×6 rockets from the 4-piece bonus. Notice there I'm looking away and you only get a ×2. However, if you actually look at the target, I'd say probably like 80% of the time I was getting 6 rockets instead of 4, which I found quite odd because it says only 4 rockets, like so. But I was able to get 6 quite consistently, which again I do find strange because it says there's only 4. But if you keep an eye on the target, more often than not, you will get them 5 or 6 rockets, which again, you can just sort of extend the damage of your rocket launchers up to 35% in your rocket sidearms and things like that. And in this clip, you'll see I'm looking at the target and I'm getting that ×6. You could use them all together at the same time, use your super then your class ability, but I think the best way to use it, in my opinion, for like a couple of hours testing, is use your super, fire your rockets off, and then put your class ability down, so you can actually get like 20 seconds of enhanced damage for your rocket launchers and sidearms and things like that, rocket weapons. So I'll give you an example. This little clip here, you've built your Exodus rockets up. For example, you're going to use your super. You're going to get your ×4 or your ×6, which is going to buff your damage out for your rocket launchers and sidearms. Fire your rockets off and then use your class ability. So it extends the timer, basically, of your pulses, your rocket pulses, rocket launchers, things like that. So, but again, Void, I found very consistently I was getting the ×6 rockets. I don't know why, if this is intentional or not. I'm pretty sure it will be. But cool little interaction. The whole 4-piece gear set in general, I don't find like absolutely amazing, but I think it's useful if you're running Hazardous Propulsion builds. It's just worth getting. So I just wanted to show you that little secret interaction, and it also obviously procs when you get weak as well, but again, you only get the ×2, so you don't actually get the full damage buff, but you want to be using it with your super anyway. That's where I found it's going to be best. So keep an eye on the target when you use your super. That will give you your ×6 more often than not. I found it pretty cool. Love little cool interactions like that. I don't think the 4-piece full gear set is worth like absolutely grinding out massively, in my opinion, unless there is some other secret interactions. But I think it's good, specifically if you're running Titan with Hazardous Propulsion. I would say it's a 4-piece bonus worth getting, not for any of the characters up to now, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.